You can get your paid funeral bill from home. We use the proof of paid funeral bill to help us on our journey to complete a quick Florida inheritance. You can do a proof of paid funeral bill in 3 steps. Before we dive into the 3 steps, I want to tell you about a time where I skipped providing a paid funeral bill and things did not go well for me. I ended up receiving a rejection letter. So this one time I heard that if you have a case where it's been over 2 years since the decedent passed away, you do not have to provide a paid funeral bill. So when the opportunity presented itself, I made sure to skip that requirement because I was trying to save time. I ended up receiving a rejection letter. I couldn't believe it. I was so surprised. So now our team always provides the paid funeral bill unless we have a good reason not to. My name is Jesus Orlando Valentino. You can call me J.O. Valentino. I've helped hundreds of families with their inheritances. I created a website called jovalentino.com. The site empowers you to do a quick Florida inheritance from home. Valentino Law is spreading the love. For more, go to jovalentino.com. So step number 1 for me and my team is to obtain the contact information of the funeral home. To obtain this, we first go to the death certificate. We have one here for you. About 3/4 of the way down is a term titled funeral facility. There you'll see the funeral home name. We take that name, we enter it on the internet, and we give them a call. I say, hello, this is J.O. We ask, who is the best person that we can send an email to today? Step number 2 is to put together an email and cover letter. When we put together the email and cover letter, they're basically identical. We make sure to include the cover letter because cover letter helps us keep our files organized. Emails tend to get lost and scattered. Another benefit of the cover letter is that when you have your law firm's letterhead on the top, it tends to get the ball rolling a little bit faster, in my experience. So we send over an email and cover letter stating, this is attorney Jesus Orlando Valentino. We are reaching out to you with regard to the service you provided to decedent John Doe. Please provide a letter on letterhead stating 0 balance due. Now, step number 3 for our team is to read the letter we received from the funeral home. We check that on top, the funeral home's letterhead is included. And then we look for a sentence that states the decedent's name and the magic words 0 balance due. If any of these 3 things are missing, we give the funeral home a call and we ask them to make a quick correction. Now, there is another way to do it. It's where you provide the receipt from the funeral home. It's very hit and miss in my experience. That's because what you're actually providing oftentimes is just an invoice that says the amount the services will cost. Maybe it has a signature of the person who paid it, but it normally doesn't say 0 balance due on it. And the best ones have a big red stamp on them sometimes that say paid in full. Those work pretty well. However, most often the invoice has a lot of numbers and they're very tiny, and sometimes the invoice can be on carbon copy paper, which is often difficult to scan in my experience and hard to read when it's converted to that digital format. Our favorite practice, even if we have the receipt, is to get the letter instead. In the event our team is unable to get a hold of the funeral home for whatever reason, and all we have is that receipt, that invoice, and it doesn't state 0 balance due on it, then what we'll do is ask for a screenshot on the smartphone of the banking app that states the payment was made to the funeral home, and screenshot that showing the amount that was paid and show that that amount is reflected on the invoice that we do have. And then with this document and the other document, you put those together and that'll maximize the chances in a otherwise tough situation. What makes a situation tough is that more complicated documents that are more convoluted and with more numbers on them, they tend to result in higher rejection rates. And we try to avoid rejections because they slow down the inheritance process in my experience. Go to jovalentino.com. And remember, whenever filling out legal documents, don't do fraud because you can end up in jail. Have a great day. Bye-bye.